This episode of Weekly Weird News is sponsored by HelloFresh and by Stitch Fix.
Happy 4th of July, folks. At the rate things are going, it might just be the last one that we get. And unfortunately, due to that ongoing coronavirus situation, this 4th of July kind of sucks. No parties or large gatherings or fireworks shows. They're all canceled.
No beaches.
Not a lot to be proud of in this country on top of all that, at least currently. Mm-hmm. But you know what you do have? You have a new episode of Weekly Weird News right here.
You're welcome.
And let's start things off with a new innovation from the world of food that will either restore your faith in the United States of America or crush it once and for all. A tap that dispenses macaroni and cheese.
If only we could go to a location where people congregate to eat food and enjoy this tap.
Just put your mouth right up on it.
Yeah, that's why you get it installed in the home.
Germs aren't real.
People come over and they're like, hey, can I get a drink of water out of your fridge? No, wait, don't. Don't use the water in the side of the fridge. That's a mac and cheese tap.
That is the mac and cheese
You're going to get a glass full of mac and cheese. Good. Now, obviously, macaroni is an Italian pasta that predates the U.S., but we perfected it. Yeah. Mac and cheese, as we know it, is very American, though, with barely any trace of Italian cuisine left over. We ruined it.
We refined it.
It's just macaroni pasta and a shitload of bright yellow government cheese. You love it. Basically, it's pig slop, like most of our food. I mean, before it even resembles what the final product is, it's powder. It's fucking yellow powder.
I mean, there's been some more gourmet twists on it, but in general, when you're talking about macaroni and cheese,
it's either powder or it comes out of like a silver packet where you go.
Yeah.
We love our slop here, though, don't we, folks?
We love our slop.
Also, Yankee Doodle stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni like 250-something years ago, so we're claiming it.
It's American.
Sorry, and I'm sure Italy will be just fine with it. Please, you guys can have the radioactive-looking mac and cheese.
We don't want that.
Anyways, in a true American fashion, Stouffer's, a company most known for its frozen meals, has announced, quote, "It's very real. We created a Mac on Tap dispenser delivering mac and cheese straight from the tap. Coming soon."
So, okay. Clearly, they haven't actually created anything since this photo is a very obvious and bad Photoshop job. Like, come on, at least use high-res images and do a better job with the lasso tool. The more you look at it, the more frustrating it is if you have any background at all in graphic design. And they did a slightly better job with this GIF here of the Stouffer's mac and cheese tap at work dispensing mac and cheese onto a hot dog. But still, this is not very real as they claim, and this deception, along with the shoddy photoshopping job, does not bode well for the real thing. Does not instill a lot of faith. If this ever sees the light of day, is it going to take my hand off?
I'm not going to believe it until I can hear that sweet, sweet sound. Please, sir, you've had enough.
It's like
I'll tell you when I've had enough.
The nacho cheese dispenser at 7-Eleven at the hot dog station.
Oh, you know what the best part about this mac and cheese thing is? And the same thing that's the best part of the nacho cheese dispenser? The crust that gathers around the edge. And then when you hit it, and because it's like when you pee in the morning. Yeah. You don't know where that mac and cheese is going to go. The crust has
And you're like, hey, this is disgusting. And they're like, hey, guess what? 7-Eleven, not a restaurant. So our health code's completely different.
Yeah, I sprayed down the hot dog roller. Big deal.
Yeah. So, there you go. Mac and cheese on tap.
We love it.
We get what we deserve.
Yeah, we do. In other news from the country currently celebrating its birthday, the Black Lives Matter protests, they continue, and the situation remains mostly peaceful. But last Sunday, a group of protesters in St. Louis who were on their way to protest in front of the mayor's mansion, because the mayor had publicly read out the names and addresses of protesters, they were confronted by this couple who became an instant meme. Mark McCloskey. Oh, you know old Mark McCloskey.
Mark McCloskey.
I saw him drink 10 beers in one night, and he drove home. No accidents. Made it home safe. Had the whole family in the car.
Mark McCloskey.
That Mark McCloskey, he's seen here clad in a pink polo and white slacks, also brandishing proudly an AR-15 style rifle. And there's his wife, Patricia, in a black and white striped top and black leggings, brandishing just the most adorable little handgun. It's a real Josh Fierstein level handgun.
Guns for women.
They said I couldn't bring a gun out. My husband, Mark, said never bring the gun outside the house or he'd beat me, but I did it anyway.
So this all went down on a private gated road, and the McCloskeys, they were absolutely not about to let a crowd of rabble walk past their ridiculously gaudy home without a fight.
Yeah.
And in the process, they violated several basic rules of firearm safety. Their fingers were on the trigger. They were pointing the guns directly at unarmed people. And also, at several points, they appeared to be accidentally pointing their guns directly at each other.
Oops.
Now, in their eyes, they were defending their property, with Mark McCloskey even comparing the situation later in interviews to the storming of the Bastille.
Wow.
But there doesn't seem to have really been any actual physical danger to them or their home. And one could argue that what they did actually escalated the situation unnecessarily.
Totally worth it for all the photos.
Yeah.
I gotta say. And, I'm just happy to know that their son, the I had to do it to him guy, was safely inside this gigantic house.
The exact same outfit. It's incredible.
I know. Yes.
There's so many layers to this.
Yeah, but we're not here to debate the nuances of castle doctrine and whether it includes black people simply walking in the street or on the sidewalk. We're here to just make fun of how ridiculous these two look and show you a bunch of really good memes highlighting that. Now, first off, here's one that Elliot made in which the McCloskeys are now the Joker and Harley Quinn. And you promptly had that stolen by numerous accounts.
I had it stolen, but I also turned out I wasn't the first one to do it.
There were others, apparently. People had the same idea. But let's move on. Here's the movie poster for Saving Private Ryan, but it's Saving Private Property. Here's Mark McCloskey standing in for Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Predator. And there's, of course, multiple Grand Theft Auto takes on the whole scene and plenty of I just want to grill memes.
They just want to grill.
Did you see the inside of this house?
Yeah. No, it's wild.
It's insane.
It's a museum.
It looks like a museum in Europe.
Yeah, it was...
it's also gaudy as hell.
The story of this house is like, it was originally like the Budweiser family, like the actual Budweiser family.
Cool.
Like the brewery. Like it was owned by like the heir to the Budweisers or some shit.
Anheuser and Busch.
Yeah, this is weird because it's like St. Louis, you don't think of like this high society, like old money fucking vibe, but it exists.
I don't know, that's where Mark McGuire's from.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Well, that's where he played.
Well, anyway.
I salute St. Louis, the gateway to the West.
Yeah. I got some St. Louis style
ribs
for...
yeah, I'm honoring the city of St. Louis by barbecuing.
Yeah, they smell delicious. I can't wait to keep them in my oven for like 7 hours tomorrow and get them extra tender.
Yeah. You say what you want about America. We have at least a dozen variations on the flavor of barbecue depending on where you live.
Food is the best part of America.
For me, doesn't get much better than either the Carolinas or Tennessee.
I'm more of a Texas smokehouse man myself, but I think they're all good.
When it comes to sauce, Carolinas.
Yeah.
When it comes to actual, no sauce at all, rubs or whatever.
That's what
Texas.
I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm saying like you want the meat and the spices to do the talking, because barbecue sauce, that's just like brown sugar and
it's cheating a bit.
Yeah, it's cheating.
Yeah.
Let the meat do the talking. So I'm more into, is it Kansas City that also uses the dry rubs, or are they more in the wet stuff? I can't remember.
I don't want to be wrong here.
Well, anyway, as with any time that people needlessly make themselves into a meme, they could have just stayed inside. But, now people, they just want to know who the hell these folks are. And the McCloskeys, they were quickly put under a microscope. Mm-hmm. And turns out they've got a long history of just being difficult people. At one point, Patricia McCloskey tried to get the neighborhood association to enforce an old, forgotten rule that bans unmarried couples from living there, which was perceived by many to just be a way to ban gay people from living there, though she denied that. They've sued the neighborhood association where they live 3 separate times. At one point, they threatened to sue a local organization for trespassing because a photo of their house showed up in a poster. And obviously, this person must have been trespassing if they took the photo.
I can't believe they're not the heads of the HOA.
Yeah, I'm sure they would like to be.
Yeah. They're both personal injury attorneys, and Mark was once fined $1,800 for frivolous legal filings and made the payment with 18,000 dimes in a box. Mark also has a long history of writing letters to the local newspaper complaining about shit, like how upsetting it was that an article disparaged yuppies and how violating it is to have the TSA ask you to open your luggage for inspection.
I thought this was America.
You can't tell me that he hasn't been on a billboard at some point.
I mean, he's a personal injury lawyer, like you would think. Both of them are. Yeah.
If you get in a wreck, call McCloskey.
Call McCloskey. He's the most petty fucking guy around.
I'll do anything.
Yeah. I will do anything to prove a fucking point, especially if you pay me.
The McCloskeys are currently in a lawsuit with the neighborhood association where they live over whether a small parcel of land adjacent to their property is in fact theirs or the property of the neighborhood association. And at one point, Patricia pulled a gun on someone who tried to cross that piece of land.
So they're
eminent domain.
They're all about brandishing when people are.
Ah, jeez, Patricia's got her pea shooter again.
Yeah. In the wake of the whole gun brandishing incident, their own neighbors have signed an open letter which, part of it says, quote, "We condemn the behavior of anyone who uses threats of violence, especially through the brandishing of firearms to disrupt peaceful protests, whether it be in this neighborhood or anywhere in the United States." But they're talking about their neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the McCloskeys are now being investigated by law enforcement for having potentially maybe committed a crime with all that brandishing and whatnot. I think they'll be fine. But they have hired a lawyer to represent them. His name is Albert S. Watkins, and the bio, which he definitely wrote about himself on his firm's website, has some great unexpected bonus content for this whole stupid affair.
This man is unabashedly proud of everything he's done, and probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, some of it quite just not shit you necessarily want to be proud of.
Yeah, well, we'll let you decide. Here we go. Albert S. Watkins, the founding member and senior counsel with this firm, is quite candidly beyond description. As lead counsel in countless cases garnering both national and international attention, Albert S. Watkins has demonstrated unrelenting trial skills which have rendered witnesses subjected to his cross-examination incapable of speaking. He's caused multinational billion-dollar companies and their teams of legal counsel to capitulate and otherwise garner favorable media attention for even the most disgraced clients. Opposing counsel in the infamous The North Face Apparel Company versus the South Butt case described in the most dangerous place in the world as being the space, quote, between Al Watkins and a microphone.
So that North Butt case.
South Butt.
It was
North Face.
It was just some teenager who made like a parody North Face. And Watkins represented the kid and was quite successful. It worked out for that kid.
I worked a fucking concert in Missouri at Six Flags, and in the merch booth, they had covered up the Six Flags merch. South Butt was there.
Oh,
and
good for them.
So I have a personal connection to the South Butt brand.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that it worked out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for the little guy, David beating Goliath.
You know you might have a picture of it that they have in this or not, but the North Face logo is a thing going up like that. Mm-hmm. The South Butt is just it turned upside down so it looks like a butt.
Yeah.
It really brings me back. What a nostalgic piece of my history.
Anyways, elsewhere, Mr. Watkins describes himself as, quote, self-centered, egotistical, and a self-proclaimed expert in all matters. No modesty here. Yeah. And here's a pretty wild paragraph. Just wait till the end. It gets dark. In Hammond versus Harris, Watkins garnered the first verdict of its kind against a young female who falsely accused a policeman of engaging in sexual relations and snorting cocaine with a female patron of a restaurant at which the policeman was working a security shift. When the defendant would not appear for her deposition, Watkins procured an order mandating the woman be brought into custody and held in jail pending her deposition. During the ensuing video deposition, Watkins swiftly got the woman to confess and admit the allegations were false. The video deposition swiftly became an internet sensation. A six-figure judgment was entered in favor of the policeman. The woman committed suicide thereafter. Hire this lawyer. He will get the opposing party to literally fucking kill themselves.
Yeah, that is it's a very good stamp of approval on his career.
We're not just gonna win this lawsuit. The other people are gonna fucking kill themselves.
A person you definitely want in your corner.
Yeah.
He's literally the devil on your shoulder. So yeah, pretty horrific things to brag about, but as Watkins says elsewhere in his bio, Watkins does not hold hands well and admits to being incapable of singing Kumbaya. Don't invite him to the wedding. He also apparently married a 17-year-old when he was 32.
Ew.
So yeah, in addition to the McCloskeys, we got a bonus character of Albert S. Watkins out of this. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, this whole McCloskey situation really underlines the amount of division this country is currently dealing with. But this next story is perhaps an even better representation of that division. Ladies and gentlemen, a group of people I have found weird for a very long time, and I didn't even know about how deep their family tree went. We're talking about the Conway family.
So Kellyanne Conway is, of course, the notorious advisor and spokeswoman for Donald Trump, who has lasted longer than almost anyone else in the administration by just being the most sociopathic of liars.
Yes.
She's been there since the beginning. Few people can say that.
No one can spin it better than her, though.
Yeah.
She will not take anyone's shit, and she will turn that right
Unflinching.
around. And she looks terrible.
And if you follow this enough, you may also know about her husband, George Conway, who gradually has come out publicly as very anti-Trump, despite being married to one of the most well-known people in Trump's inner circle.
Here's the problem with this. He's part of that fucking Lincoln Project, which is...
It's just a bunch of Republicans who are just like...
How did we let a bunch of Republicans commandeer the marketing arm of the Democratic Party?
Who's we? Well, we is the Democratic... It's the whole...
Yeah, and I didn't let it happen. The DNC is letting this happen on a daily basis.
They're embracing the shitty Joe Biden pitch, which is just like, let's be Republicans in
Secret.
the 90s.
Yeah.
Like 90s era Republicans. Let's just embrace everything about Republican stuff, but without being so grotesque and like unbecoming.
Yeah, let's keep it underground, under wraps.
Yeah.
But here's what I hate about the Lincoln Project is like every fucking
Well, their latest ones are like, Donald Trump's a pussy. He should a real president would declare war on Russia. It's like, whoa, hey.
Yeah, but a lot of them too that are coming out of it are like, people are like, wow, look at, and they're sharing it all over. And meanwhile, the DNC is just sitting around with its entire hand up its ass.
Yeah, they've let a bunch of Republicans take over their own campaign.
It's insane.
For president.
I've tweeted at George Conway so many times when he's like something anti-Trump, and I'm just like, have you spoken to your wife?
Yeah.
Like what? I have a fucking I made a Photoshop of him and his wife as his wife's Carol Baskins, just dog walking him.
Yeah.
Fucking cuck. Literally a fucking cuck.
He kind of is. Anyway, yeah, so there's Kellyanne and George. But this past week, the world was introduced to Claudia Conway, one of the Conway's 4 children, who, like many Zoomers, is active on TikTok and... surprise, she fucking hates the president that her mom works for.
Yeah. She's been active on TikTok for a while, just obviously flying under the radar. But this past week, people finally figured out who she was and who her parents were. And the whole thing is basically the same kinds of intergenerational political disagreements a lot of families have, just taken to a very, very high extreme.
Yeah.
The Conways are the real first family of the United States.
Yeah.
You gotta admit it.
Yeah.
Anyways, Claudia's TikTok profile was up until last month the kind of apolitical high schooler stuff that you would expect, just lip syncing and dancing. But then she made a post critical of the Trump administration's effort to prevent same-sex couples from adopting with the caption, "I love Trump, but replace love with think that we should extinguish."
Ooh.
Yeah, so that same day, she made a post making fun of white people who claim to not be racist but constantly say the N-word.
Okay. So after those posts, there was a few more weeks of typical high school girl TikToks. But then about a week ago, she made this TikTok asking, why do people hate on Trump supporters? Like, why can't we just respect everyone's opinions? Psych! Nah, block me, please, and then educate yourself.
The Zoomers will save the world.
Well, some of them might.
Yeah.
She then made a post saying, hi, so if you're a leftist, ACAB, anti-Trump, BLM, etc., please interact with this because most of my comments are threats from angry Trump supporters.
Which is strange because why are all these Trump supporters following, before anyone else, following this young girl?
Because they're pedophiles. No, hebophiles. Anyway, she followed that up with a post calling for justice in the Breonna Taylor case, and then, with the public now aware of just who she is and who she's related to, Claudia Conway did this TikTok clarifying some things.
Mm-hmm. To all the Trump supporters in my comments whose only personality traits are commenting Trump 2020 with an American flag, yes, my mother is Kellyanne Conway, senior counsel to the President of the United States. She also was his campaign manager during the 2016 election. So, your point? Your point. Believe it or not, you can have your own opinions. Not influenced by your parents at all, simply by educating yourself. My views have absolutely nothing to do with my mom's. Please stop commenting about her. Please stop commenting about my dad. Go find another hobby, sweetheart. Mwah.
You know what? Let's just actually play a few more of these.
Yeah.
I would love to see y'all defend this. This goes out to Tucker Carlson. I hope you roast me. A minor. No. imagine sexualizing a young girl and then justifying it by saying she was asking for it. These are the kind of people who grow up to become rapists. Tell me I'm wrong. Actually, here's where you're wrong, because no one should be killed for a non-violent drug-related crime. You were saying? These are the kids who are commenting Trump 2020 on my post. That's all you need to know. That's it. That's all you need to know. Why is he still our president?
So anyway, Claudia's parents, understandably not thrilled about this sudden attention their 15-year-old daughter is getting. George Conway tweeted on Friday, "To journalists, Kellyanne and I do not consent to any communications between you and any of our minor children, including our daughter Claudia. So desist. Thank you." To which Claudia replied on Twitter, "You're just mad that I'm finally getting my voice heard. Sorry your marriage failed."
Ooh! And then the emoji, like, doing
Yeah.
your nails. And that's been a, like...
Holy shit.
I've been wondering about their marriage for a very long
It's
time.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, I understand, like, some people find attraction through antagonism.
If you ever want to read the most amazing story, and I would love for it to be true, what is the crazy blonde lady, Ann Coulter?
Oh, yeah.
Look, Google, I fucked Ann Coulter in the ass.
Is that real?
Listen, maybe it's not real, maybe it is. It is just some of the best literature.
I think I read that a long time ago. And I don't know, it might have been parody, but it's basically, it's just like, they don't believe what they're talking about.
Well, she's like, specifically her, that's why I bring it up, has notably like dated Democrats because
she
they
did
just
like
hate fuck.
Bill Maher, and the hate fuck is real, apparently.
Well, anyways, later, Claudia made 2 tweets directed at her parents telling them to stop trying and shut her phone off. Like, within 15 minutes of each other, just like, whoa, guys, stop.
And I think they're all in the same location right now.
Well, we know for a fact that her and her dad are in the same location. She posted this to TikTok with George Conway in the background desperately trying to not be recorded with just the most amazing soundtrack behind it. And he has his fucking earpiece in, just total dork dad.
Yeah, I love, like, I don't know fucking shit about like current, like super current, like hip hop, but I love how just aggressive and
Yeah.
it's great. It's great.
Anyways, as of when we recorded this, Claudia has put her Twitter profile behind a lock and deleted most of her tweets criticizing her parents. And maybe the Conways all decided to just chill out on the public dysfunction for the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, Trump has previously criticized George Conway for criticizing him, and in the next few days, we may see a similar attack from the president against the 15-year-old daughter of one of his closest advisors, and we are very here for it.
Yeah.
I know there's something to be said about like leaving the kids of politicians alone,
but she's posted.
We haven't done anything. This is all she has posted all of this onto the internet,
and like if I was their kids. And I was a teenager.
Obviously, it's a dysfunctional family.
Yeah, it would be hard. Like, it would be difficult for me to not
stay silent,
not lash out at some point. And she's obviously seems like she's had this bottled up for a while, and she's very young. She's like forming her own opinions right now, and the whole thing's very weird. And also, a lot of weird hebophiles are saying some nasty stuff about Claudia.
Yeah. Well,
she's a child.
She needs to stay safe. Don't go following her. It's just...
Yeah. Well, just don't use TikTok in general. We've talked about
that's a good idea.
Yeah, they're scraping your clipboard.
It's a China app.
Yeah, it's a China app. Anyways, before we get to the headlines part of the show, and there's some good ones in there, this episode is sponsored by HelloFresh. Get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door with HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh lets you skip those trips to the grocery store and makes home cooking fun, easy, and affordable. HelloFresh offers so many recipes to choose from each week to help you break out of your recipe rut. There's something for everyone, including low-calorie, vegetarian, and family recipes every week. Cut out the stressful meal planning and prepping so you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes or even 20 minutes with their quick recipe options.
HelloFresh offers fresh, high-quality ingredients every week for a super flavorful experience. So I've been having HelloFresh delivered literally since the beginning of the quarantine. I get it off and on because sometimes I like to do my own cooking and stuff like that. But because of the coronavirus, I do not want to go to the store at all.
Understandable.
And it's great. It's consistent. It comes. You get your meals for the week. You can actually, I didn't know this before the quarantine started, but you can add an extra meal to it. So it takes up the whole week. It's super convenient.
What's been your favorite recipe?
They do like a beef bulgogi bowl.
Ooh.
I like the bowls a lot because they're pretty quick. It's basically just put rice
dishes.
on, rice on, and then you just do some quick stir fry stuff, and then together. But it's great, and I love it, and it keeps me from going to the store. So go to hellofresh.com/weird60 and use code weird60 to get $60 off your first 3 weeks, including free shipping on your first box. Additional restrictions apply, and you can visit hellofresh.com for more details. Again, that's hellofresh.com/weird60 and code weird60 to get $60 off your first 3 weeks, including free shipping on your first box.
And this episode is sponsored by Stitch Fix. Wouldn't it be great if every clothing store you shopped at had only your size, what styles you like, and at the price you want? Well, Stitch Fix is a company focused on making that happen. Stitch Fix is an online personal styling company that makes getting the clothes you love effortless. It's a completely different way to shop that's all about you every time. To get started, go to stitchfix.com/weird to set up your profile, and they'll deliver great looks personalized just for you in all your colors, styles, and budget.
You pay a $20 styling fee for each fix, which is credited towards anything you keep. Schedule at any time, there's no subscription required, plus shipping, returns, and exchanges are easy and free. Stitch Fix does the hard work for you, making great style effortless for everybody, including men, women, and kids. Get started today at stitchfix.com/weird. You get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. That is stitchfix.com/weird for 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. Stitchfix.com/weird.
All right.
Headlines.
Let's get to the headlines.
Yeah.
And this first headline is actually two headlines.
Back to back.
A little back to back. First headline, Vanilla Ice throwing 4th of July concert. We didn't have coronavirus in the 90s. Second headline,
Vanilla Ice cancels 4th of July concert. I didn't know the numbers were so crazy.
whoa, this coronavirus thing's pretty serious.
What has Vanilla Ice been doing for months?
I mean, it seems
Renovating homes?
Yeah, he's doing all right. He's successful enough that he is apparently very well insulated from the outside world.
Vanilla Ice doesn't care about what's going on outside of Vanilla Ice's bubble.
But yeah, it's also this it's this weird thing where obviously in Texas concerts are canceled, but it's this one restaurant in Austin that owns 100 acres. But they're technically a restaurant. They're not a venue, but they have just this giant area, and they're
Stubbs?
I don't know what it is, but they were going to throw this Vanilla Ice concert that they booked
for the dozens of people who would love to go see.
I don't know. It was going to be 2,500.
Well, okay, because it's the only thing to do.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyways, good for Vanilla Ice for
He came to his senses.
Came into his senses, unlike Static X.
Yeah.
Although I haven't checked in on the quarantine or what is it? Herd Immunity Fest situation.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, moving on. Mystery Jeffrey Epstein statue found in downtown Albuquerque.
Yeah, it's obviously just a mannequin that's been dressed up and spray painted, but it had a nice little plaque written in Comic Sans being Jeffrey Epstein, Albuquerque resident, financier, also a rapist.
Yeah. Well, luckily they got Ghislaine Maxwell.
It's actually Ghislaine.
Ghislaine.
I didn't know. I started watching the Netflix documentary, Filthy Rich or whatever.
Yeah.
And I did not know her name was Ghislaine.
Ghislaine.
And it's a fascinating documentary, but they very, very, very conspicuously keep the focus on the victims, which is nice, but they don't really cast their perspective much
on any of the ancillary characters.
Yeah, on any of the the famous names and faces that have associations with Epstein and his whole crazy fucking Illuminati pedophile ring.
I'm kind of convinced that Alan Dershowitz knew the FBI was going to jump on her because he's been posting
he
dumb
published
shit.
An op-ed just
he's been posting dumb shit on Twitter all week leading up to her arrest.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, let's get it out of the way right now. Ghislaine Maxwell did not kill herself. You say it right. What's her name again?
Ghislaine.
Hey, by the way, no idea what that Ubisoft game's called. I can't remember it right now.
It's
Hyperspace?
called Ghislaine Shooter.
Hyperspace.
Hyperspace Outlaw? No, that's a different game. Anyways, least racist person there is retweets video of supporters shouting white power. That least racist person there is
the president.
The president, as he's described himself. And yes, last weekend...
while golfing, right? Because people in the White House were scrambling to be like, what do we do? And he's like on the golf course.
But it was that hilarious video from the Villages, the largest retirement community in the world, in Central Florida, where like
God's waiting room.
They had a big showdown between like the old people who like Trump and the old people who don't, and it was all in golf carts.
The real Civil War.
Because they're too old to have cars. Yeah. So like in the video he retweeted, like literally within the first 10 seconds, one of the people's just like, white power. It's like, okay, so why are you retweeting this, sir?
Couldn't hear it. The golf course is too loud.
Yeah, that was their excuse. They're like, oh, he must not have had the sound on. Anyways, Trump tells African Americans to understand their history or you will go back to it again.
What he was probably trying to say
sounds worse than what he thinks he was trying to say.
What he thinks he was trying to say was those who don't understand history tend to repeat it or whatever.
Yeah, he was talking about like, oh, if you tear down these statues, that's how you repeat history, which is bullshit. There's no statues of Hitler in Germany, and they do a pretty good job of, remembering that and preventing it from happening
His bunker is
again.
literally an apartment building parking lot.
Yeah, but he's just like, remember your history, blacks, or it's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again.
It's almost like this guy doesn't have a way with words.
No, he's a fucking idiot.
Trump misidentifies sculpture in Oval Office while saying statues help teach history.
Yeah, this is this fucking cowboy statue in the White House, and he's like, you see that?
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt. It's just like obviously not Teddy Roosevelt. It's just a generic like
It's the Marlboro Man.
cowboy like on a fucking bucking bronco.
Ronald Reagan had that installed with all of his Marlboro points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, protesters set up guillotine outside Jeff Bezos' DC home. I fucking love this shit. They've been doing it in Puerto Rico a bunch, like during their protests, because like the Puerto Rican government extremely corrupt, and the guillotine is just such a great like
Icon.
It's an icon of like people getting fed the fuck up.
Yeah.
And if you learn about French history, you know that the guillotine, the Reign of Terror, pretty unsuccessful, not great, but. Just the idea of rolling up to someone's house with a guillotine. Come on out.
the most threatening
Step right up.
thing.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And it's not if you walked up to their house with a gun, that would be one thing. But if you walk up with like a prop guillotine, it's just like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's just some fucking shit.
Yeah.
Some wood nailed together.
Here's one that me and Elliot are going to be putting our minds to.
Yeah.
NASA is offering $35,000 in prizes to design a toilet that will work on the moon.
Yeah, the next moon mission, they're going to be up there for like a couple of days. So the lunar lander that actually lands on the moon, they need like a working toilet. Mm-hmm. They need something that's going to suck out the poop. They're also saying like they want to be able.
You need to shove a tube up your ass.
Yeah, well, they're saying like people might get nauseous after like a few days on the moon, so you need to be able to puke in the toilet without sticking their head inside the toilet. So like there needs to be like a puke mask. There's a lot of ideas here. I'm not a toilet scientist, but I think I know a thing or two about toilets. And
yeah,
for example, you can put a slight angle on it to make sure people aren't sitting on the toilet for too long.
Hello, this is Houston.
Get back to work on the moon.
Get off your phone.
We only go up there like every fucking 30 years. So get out there and find some samples.
Yeah.
Put the phone down.
Wiping his ass on a moon rock.
Yeah.
Wow, a brown moon rock. We should bring this back.
Put that in the Smithsonian.
Topless woman saves family from drowning in UK.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a better way to not drown.
It's weird, like...
Is it because she has the big flotation devices?
Yeah, oh. Buoyant. Does America just, like, not have... I was just thinking about this when I was pulling this up, but, like, does America just not have, like, public nude beaches? Is that, like, not a thing?
When I was growing up, there was a nude beach in Florida... But I think it was
they're
just
like private.
Yeah.
Yeah, like over in Europe, like I know, like in Germany.
No, you just go to the lake with your tits out.
The lake or the river, like there's like designated areas for it where it's just like you can be naked over here, but not over here. But like,
I don't think anyone's gonna say something either way. But
yeah, I did like a boat tour of like just like our boat cruise of the Rhine in Germany, and like
binoculars like the whole time.
Well, no, like just my bare eyes. Like there's a bunch of times where I'm like looking over the shore, I'm like, oh, all those people are naked. And like
hide your shame.
The next town over, I'm like, oh, all those people are naked too.
Yeah.
So yeah, this topless woman in the UK at a perfectly normal nude beach managed to personally save an entire family.
There you go.
And it might or might not have to do with her big old tits that floated in the water and kept her buoyant. We don't know.
Authorities end search for naked person in Duluth sewers.
This is one of those stories that has so little information that it's perfect.
We had a report.
Yeah, it's just like, the cops saw the manhole open and a pile of clothes next to the manhole. So they're
Person's
just like,
obviously naked.
There's a naked person in the sewers of Duluth, Minnesota. And they searched for him for a while, couldn't find him. So it's like that naked person probably found their way out.
That man's name? Pennywise the Clown.
Yeah. Probably got every hepatitis.
Yeah.
A, B, C, the hepatitis, the D, E, F, all of them.
I got hepatitis Z.
Here's one from the UK, and I'll explain it after I read it for the Americans. But Sir Keir Starmer challenges Boris Johnson to press-up contest. So Sir Keir Starmer is the head of the Labour Party, the sort of more left mainstream party in the UK. Boris Johnson, of course, the Prime Minister of the UK, head of the Conservative Party. And a press-up is, I guess, how British people say push-up. So essentially, the UK's Joe Biden challenged the UK's Donald Trump to a push-up contest.
Ah, perfect.
Much like our Joe Biden challenged our Donald Trump to a push-up contest.
Joe Biden challenges everyone he comes across to a push-up contest.
Yeah, well, and no one's taking him up on it. He must be really good at it.
They don't want him to die of a heart attack.
But I love that it's the same shit over there. Britain, the thing I love about Britain and hate about Britain is that it's this weird, like, carnival funhouse mirror of
America?
Of us. Like,
yeah.
It's like a bizarro version. It's like it's like America could have been like this. It's like a whole different world, but essentially it boils down to like the same fucking shit, the same issues, the same discourse, just slightly different.
The American experiment has resulted in a larger UK with less silly accents. I mean, we got plenty of silly accents.
Yeah, I mean, we're still part of the UK essentially. Culturally, we're the same fucking place. Yeah.
No HB sauce here though. You can't get it.
Is that the brown sauce?
Yes. And no Monster Munch.
I like that they just call it brown sauce.
Yeah.
In this, like, I don't know. I'm okay with a lot of British food.
Yeah.
Like,
I love the Monster Munch.
Every week on Twitter, people are like, they'll pull up a picture of beans on toast and be like, "Can you believe they eat this shit?"
Yes, I can. I've been there and it's delicious.
Yeah, it's really. It's really good.
I gotta tell you,
I like the beans on toast.
I hate breakfast. I love British breakfast.
Yeah, British breakfast and the fried tomato.
Yeah,
really good.
British breakfast is like dinner.
The blood pudding.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't like that.
Oh, I love it all. I will say, Irish breakfast is better than British breakfast, and Northern Irish breakfast is the best breakfast.
Irish breakfast is when you show up for breakfast and no one's there, right?
No, that's an Irish entrance.
Yes.
But
they promised me they'd be here.
But yeah, Britain, America.
Same thing.
Same fucking people.
Yeah. Upstate New York man fights to keep wooden penis sculpture on his front lawn. I bought that in Indonesia, and god damn it, I'm gonna have it there.
No, he made it himself.
Oh wow, he's a connoisseur.
Yeah, he worked on this giant fucking like 10-foot penis in his front yard. And
cool.
His fucking puritanical neighbors, they're like
the McClunskys or whatever.
Like, you can't have that penis in your front yard. So he put up a sign in front of it. He's like, adults only beyond this. It's just this whole thing where he's just like, he's really taking a stand. Doesn't seem like this guy has a whole lot going on. So he's just like, I'm going to get into a First Amendment like issue with my local community.
Yeah. Well, people have a lot of time on that.
If you want to take my wooden penis away, you're going to have to fight for that.
Yeah.
I'm not backing down on this one. And good for him.
Yeah.
Oregon town renames park after famous exploding whale.
Yay! They did it.
50 years ago. It had its anniversary recently.
Wow.
And it's the park is called Exploding Whale Memorial Park.
Wow. Love it.
Parky
McBoom.
We've talked about this a bunch of times. Basically, 50 years ago in Oregon, a whale beached itself, and the authorities decided that the best way to deal with it, because it smelled bad, was to just put a bunch of dynamite next to it. But it just made blubber fly up into the air and like
crush cars.
Yeah, it made the situation way worse.
Yeah, they thought that it would explode enough to where the seagulls would just take care of it.
Yeah, no.
Didn't happen that way.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite stories.
Last headline. Canadian Tire store is forced to close after every item scans in as Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, what's going on with the UPC reader?
So many Mr. Potato Heads here at Canadian Tire. People just want tires and car stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Sorry, these 4 tires are gonna cost you $16.99.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know what to do. That's how the register's clearing it up.
You got here 3 Mr. Potato Heads. It's a lot of Mr. Potato Heads.
Yeah, well, he can store a lot of junk in his trunk. That's kind of the whole point of Mr. Potato Head.
Got so many different emotions.
Anyways, here's your free bag of milk.
Yeah, I guess it was a computer issue, but for like an entire day, every Canadian Tire, which is like basically the Pep Boys up there, every store up there for an entire day, every item scanned as a Mr. Potato Head.
Oh! What's going on here, eh?
Oh, jeez.
Ah, jeez. Well, we're sorry. We'll get this sorted out here soon.
Anyways, back to America. Happy 4th of July, or unhappy. I don't fucking care.
It's very hot in here. I'm very unhappy right now.
Yeah, July is...
It's a scorcher.
Here. It's a scorcher.
Yeah.
Please check out our most recent episodes over here.
Don't get the virus. Don't blow your fingers off.
Yeah.
Drink. Do some grilling.
Yeah, I mean, like, hang out with people at a distance. Maybe like 1 or 2 people. Don't throw a fucking party. But, do some grilling. You can grill solo.
Yeah, it's fine.
You can pass the plate over to your neighbors across the fence.
I brought Elliot some salsa.
Yeah.
He brought me a beer.
I'm going to eat all that salsa.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you soon. Check out other videos over here. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.